Here we are with the World Cup just days away. This is Extra Time. Thanks for being with us here on the free KHOU11 streaming app. Tonight, status check of where we are at locally with the head of the Houston World Cup host committee. Also, what excites one expert about the United States team. But first, it's an update on this. The United States, which plays its first game in just 4 days against Paraguay. Now, with more on the team and this much anticipated matchup, here's Jake Garrian, who's in California.
Well, Monday marked the first official training session for the United States men's national team here at Great Park in Irvine. It was also Community Day for the fans of the United States men's national team. Over 30,000 individual applicants applied in a lottery to be here, and a lucky 5,500 supporters were able to watch that first training session. The joy of the fans here at Great Park is really a microcosm of what could lie ahead for the Americans. The ability to inspire an entire generation of new soccer players and fans based on their performance in the World Cup. A heavy weight to carry, but it's not an exaggeration in any way. It is a very true reality that exists for these 26 players.
1, 2, 3, USA! USA!
I wouldn't say overwhelmed, but pleasantly surprised by the excitement and the buzz around the team and in the stadiums, and pulling up here with 5,500 fans ready to watch a training session is incredible.
Especially with the World Cup being here, the opportunity to represent my nation, in front of a home crowd is going to be something special for me, for my family, for my friends, and for the team. So I'm definitely looking forward to it and very proud.
It means so much to be able to be in a position to inspire the next generation, and there's a compounding effect to it. Obviously, we were inspired by the previous generation. Hopefully we inspire the next generation, and the more we inspire them, the better the following generation will be. So we're working as hard as we can, as focused as we can, to continue to leave the next generation inspired.
And you heard goalkeeper Matt Freese say it there. Teams in the past have motivated and inspired the next great group of footballers. Could this 2026 World Cup team do the same? From Irvine, California, I'm Jake Garriani.
Thank you, Jake Garriani. Now, the first World Cup game of any kind is just days away, but Houston becoming a host city was a project years in the making. So now let's kick off with this. The president of Houston's World Cup host committee, Chris Canetti. Chris, thanks for joining us.
Good to be here.
All right. You had said a few weeks ago Houston is ready for the World Cup. Do you still stand by that? And what are some of the final things you are crossing off your list?
I mean, we are ready. We are a couple days away from the opening of the Fan Festival on Thursday, and of course the first game on Sunday. There's still a lot of work to be done, a lot of people running around, scurrying, but it's all about the final touches right now. We're ready, we're prepared. We've been working on this for a long time, and we're on time, on target, on schedule, on budget, all those good things just a few days out.
Those are good things. Houston, of course, has hosted Super Bowls and Final Fours and World Series games. So for those who aren't aware of the World Cup and its impact, what makes the World Cup different?
Well, it's the largest sporting event in the history of the world, this version of it. Of course, everybody knows that soccer or football is the world's game. And it's coming to Houston. And this is the largest version of the FIFA World Cup ever, with 3 countries, with 16 cities, with 104 matches and 48 teams competing. This is just a massive event over 39 days, starting this Thursday, going all the way on to July 19th. So many moving parts to this, excitement around the world. And the numbers are staggering when we start talking about scale and interest around the world.
Houston obviously is such a car-centric city. How confident are you that the transit plans will hold up under the pressure of these World Cup crowds? Yeah,
we've got a great transportation plan in place. Our partners, Metro, have been phenomenal in scaling up and planning the airports as well. Everybody's been planning for this for a long period of time. We do have history and track record from other major sporting events. Now this, of course, is a little bit larger in some ways. So it's about taking the lessons learned from the past, building off of them, and just improving. So again, Metro and the airports are ready, they're prepared. Again, most of the fans are going to be from out of town, so we're going to be relying on the light rail, the red line from downtown to the stadium. So it's not going to be a situation where there's like immense traffic around the stadium, on a scale that's any different from any other major event down at the stadium. Before we came on here, you were showing me some photos on your phone. What is the status of Houston Stadium? The grass is in. Could they play a match tomorrow if they needed? Is it ready to go? They could. They could play a match tomorrow. The grass has been in for a few weeks now. Just incredible innovation and technology and science that has gone into bringing a grass field into NRG Stadium, Reliance Stadium, Houston Stadium, whatever we're calling it here. But it's it's as though we built a grass field in that stadium from scratch, and as though it was going to be permanent. And it's beautiful. Sadly, it's going to be removed after the tournament is over. But I saw a lot of the Texans players who are there for preseason now camp, peeking in and all, just marveling at it, wishing it could stay. And when you look at the grass, there were some issues in the Team World Cup. Are you confident? I know we had mentioned and talked about this earlier a few weeks ago, but are you feeling good that this grass will hold up under the lights and the action and everything that goes along with this tournament? Yeah, 100%. I mean, the way they did the grass in the Club World Cup last year and it wasn't in Houston, by the way, but in other cities. That is important to note, yes. Yeah, compared to how it's being done for the World Cup, not just in Houston, but not even apples to apples at all. Even from an investment perspective, the amount of money that it was spent on this, again, the years and years of science and technology and planning that have gone into it, it's incredible. So we got the best in the business on this, and no expense was spared to make sure that it's done well. How is the host committee right now feeling about the interest when it comes to ticket sales for all of the games? Yeah, interest is incredible across the board. Ticket sales, anytime we have an event, anytime we post something on social media, it's incredible to see the positive reaction. We opened a FIFA merchandise store down in Sugar Land last week, and it was 11 a.m. on a random Thursday, and the line was around the corner out the store. So like every time we do something World Cup related here, it's just the reaction from everybody is incredible. All right, so days before the World Cup begins here, what is one thing which may keep Chris Canetti up at night? Well, I'm sleeping pretty well right now. Okay. Because we are well organized and everything's going the way it's supposed to. But, really the things that are going to keep me up are actually things that I can't control, right? So that's actually why I'm resting pretty well. The things that we can control are under control. They're going well. But, a weather event, for example, would be something that would definitely cause a lot of stress and problems like that. So, but for the things within our control, it's feeling good. So we're sleeping well, and we're worried about the things that we can't control. It's a weird way to do it. Sounds like a former sports executive, current sports executive right there. I actually wrote down, here's what I predicted you would say. All right. I had heat and fans and then safety. Yeah. So safety is, the number one thing. First and foremost, if we don't have a safe event, then nothing else matters. The good news is the collaboration, the planning, the sophistication with all the different agencies, local, state, federal, you name it. We received an $80 million grant from the federal government to cover safety and security. So there's an investment in this to protect people, so we have to have a safe event first and foremost. But I'm very confident that we've got the right people and team and plan on that. Let's put your travel agent hat on for a second. Which countries do you think or expect to have the strongest fan presence here? Okay, so we know the 5 matchups, right, in the group stage. We don't know 2. We don't know who's going to be in the round of 32 or the round of 16. So if we put them aside for a second, because I think those are going to be big, I would say obviously Portugal, the Netherlands, and Germany, and I would give the Netherlands probably the nod over anybody. They seem to have a very, very organized, passionate fan base that are headed towards Houston.
Organized is key.
Yes.
Organized is key. This man knows all about organization because, again, as we mentioned, this has been years in the making. Chris Canetti, thanks for being with us here on Extra Time.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
All right.
Thank you.
And now 7 World Cup matches in Houston, as Chris mentioned, but only one country will make H-Town its home base during the tournament, and that is part of our news of the day. The Congo national team will be here with players expected to arrive this week. They'll open their tournament against Portugal, and with concerns about Ebola, the team has been operating in a protective bubble before entering the United States. Meanwhile, the rest of the continent has been rolling out the red carpet for some of the world's best players. On Friday, the Spanish national team successfully landing in Chattanooga, Tennessee. The fans waiting as their buses pull up as they prepare for their first matchup, which is Monday against Cape Verde in Atlanta. And our southern neighbors, Mexico, welcoming the Iranian soccer team. They arrived yesterday afternoon. Team is set to train in Tijuana after moving its base from Arizona amid visa issues for some team officials. Iran's Soccer Federation says several staff members still have not received U.S. visas ahead of matches later this month in both L.A. and Seattle. And now, still ahead, this year's U.S. roster and its chances to make some noise has people fired up, including one Dynamo legend.
We have some really talented players. We have some players that are coming into their second World Cup. Some players are coming into their first World Cup, and it's exciting.
It is. That is DeMarcus Beasley and why he believes the U.S. could go on a great run. It's ahead on Extra Time.
If you're new to soccer, here's how the field and the players are organized. Each team has 11 players on the field at a time, and they're split into 4 position groups. First, you've got the goalkeeper. They're the only player allowed to use their hands, but only inside the 18-yard box, also known as the penalty area. In front of the goalie are the defenders, usually 3 to 5 players. They stop the other team's attackers and try to win the ball back. Next, the midfielders. Think of them as the link between defense and offense. They run the most, help defend, and help create scoring chances. Up top are the forwards, sometimes called strikers or wingers. Their main job is simple: score goals. Teams can arrange these numbers differently. Like in this example, there are 4 defenders, 4 midfielders, 2 forwards, but it always adds up to 11. 1 goalie, a line of defenders, a group of midfielders, and the attackers up front. Every team uses different formations and strategies, but that's the basic makeup of the positions in soccer.
Christian Pulisic is an American soccer star and definitely a player to watch. The 27-year-old is a winger for AC Milan and will represent the U.S. He has an impressive 32 international goals heading into the tournament. Back in 2019, he made history with his $73 million transfer, made him the most expensive American player ever. And soccer is a family affair. Both of his parents played in college. Outside of the game, Christian likes to play chess, even challenging some of the world's top players. And we hear he's a big chocolate guy. Makes sense. He was born in Hershey, Pennsylvania, the chocolate capital of the world.
Yes, he was. Speaking of U.S. stars, here in Houston, we're now home to one of only a handful of players to appear in 4 World Cups. That man? Former U.S. soccer star DeMarcus Beasley, who also played for the Dynamo. He recently spoke with our Ilona Carson about the upcoming tournament.
Okay, so let's dig into this. You played in 4 FIFA World Cups. You know what it takes to compete on the stage. What players should we all be keeping an eye on?
U.S. players.
Yes.
Well, I mean, look, as a team, and we have some really talented players. We have some players that are coming into their second World Cup. Some players are coming into their first World Cup, and it's exciting. Obviously, when you look at one of our top attacking players, you look at Christian Pulisic. He plays his club football at AC Milan in Italy. He's a guy, he's lightning quick, he's super technical. He's a guy that when he gets the ball, you're going to you are literally going to get out of your seat because he comes with a lot of energy and passion. And that's one guy I would say for sure. I think American fans will love to see. Weston McKennie is another one. He's a type of midfielder that he plays with his heart on his sleeve, plays with a lot of personality, super technical, super aggressive as well. Great player, plays his football in Juventus. But to be honest, the whole team, I think from this tournament, I hope that they feel the support from everyone in America.
Love that, and I love that you're so confident about our team. Which other national teams stand out to you right now, and do you have any other favorites?
Good question. In a World Cup, you never know sometimes, and it's kind of cliche to always pick some of the big names, and I'm going to do the same thing.
Sure.
I mean, you look at France, and I mean they're stacked with Kylian Mbappe, Olise, plays at Bayern Munich. I mean, Argentina, I think they're a little bit older. I know they're coming into the tournament a bit injured. Well, I would say fatigued, not so much injured. They're a favorite. Also Spain, very good team. England, they always say they're bringing it home, but they never do. But they have some really talented players as well. Looking forward to seeing Kane back on the world stage. He's an incredible goal scorer, has an incredible goal scoring record. So they have a very good squad. And I think I would say my dark horses this year would be Holland. They're a team that a lot of people, they know they're very talented, but I don't think they get a lot of credit in some ways. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Holland does as well.
Okay, I love that. Now, the U.S., Mexico, and Canada, of course, hosting this World Cup. How significant is this moment for the growth of soccer in North America and specifically in the United States?
Yeah, this is huge. I think this World Cup has the opportunity to change American football. Soccer, sorry. I think this is, and to be honest, I'm not trying to put pressure on the U.S. team, but at the same time, some of it will dictate how we do in this World Cup. Mm-hmm. What happens after this, what our future looks like in this sport, But at the same time, just watching the match last week, I think a lot of kids, families, parents, a lot of fans, they got a lot of inspiration from that performance that we put on against Senegal. So I see a big shift coming. I wish I knew what the future held for this sport in this country. But having the World Cup in North America is going to boost everyone's energy around the sport, and I hope it really does a really good job when it comes back to the United States.
Yeah, that's exciting. We are so proud to be able to say that you spent part of your professional career with the Houston Dynamo. So what does it mean to you to see Houston serving as one of the host cities for this World Cup?
Oh, that's incredible. I've made Houston my home now. I've been in Houston for 13 years now. And I've never left, and it's an incredible city, has so much culture, so many different ethnicities. I love the food. It might not look like it, but I love the food. I'm a foodie. And there's so many different pockets of Houston that I enjoy being in. And I just think when sports in general, not just soccer, but sports in general, when we have big events, when we have from World Series to obviously now the World Cup, international soccer matches, fans come out. And that's what I love about Houston, because it's a melting pot, and the fans are able to share their passion, share their background, share their story while watching the match. And I think you're going to get a lot of that in the stadiums.
So good to hear from one of our neighbors there, DeMarcus Beasley. Now ahead for the newbies out there, it's how this World Cup works, why it's not like the NCAA tournament or the NFL playoffs. The World Cup is more than just a bunch of games and teams and dates. For those who don't know, there is a method to this madness, as we learn in Soccer 101, once again with Joe Trahan.
The first stage is called the group stage. 48 teams are separated into 12 groups, and the 4 teams in each group will play a round robin. 3 matches in total, with the top 2 teams from each group advancing to the knockout stage. Now, 8 of the 12 third-place teams advance as well based on tiebreaker rankings. The group stage will run from June 11th to June 27th. A 32-team knockout stage will then follow, with matches spanning for 3 weeks, starting on June 28th, as they advance round by round to the final on July 19th.
Thanks, Joe. As for the games that we are seeing here in Houston, they begin Sunday with Germany and Curacao. Portugal, Congo, I should say, they start here on June 17th, followed by this game. And this is a game that Chris Canetti just highlighted about an organized fan base, and that would be the Netherlands versus Sweden on the 20th. That should be a phenomenal matchup inside Houston Stadium. Portugal also has a huge following. And then on the 26th, it's Cabo Verde and Saudi Arabia. Those are the Houston games coming via the World Cup. And now it's all about the juggling and the dribbling. Next, the freestylers you'll soon be able to see if you're heading to Fan Fest, as well as a player to watch. Excitement will be everywhere during this World Cup. And if you plan on going to the FIFA Fan Festival, check out some freestyle soccer players. Our Troy Kless taking to Instagram after talking with them.
Hello everyone, it's Troy Kless with KHOU, and we are going to introduce you to the Tech Crew, a group of Houston freestyle footballers that you are going to see at the FIFA Fan Festival this summer. This is a group of soccer players that got together because of their love for freestyle and street style specifically. So we're going to hear from them about how they got this opportunity and also what it means to them to be a part of the FIFA action this summer. You can catch them at the Fan Festival all tournament long.
Thank you, Troy, and you can see Troy's story on KHOU.com. That's going to do it for us, the first episode of Extra Time. Want to thank Chris Canetti for joining us here on the free KHOU 11 streaming app. Make sure to join us again this exact same time tomorrow. Until then, here is the scene from the FIFA Fan Festival. Quiet now, but that will change very, very soon.